this will be a challenge, but nothing I can't handle. Welcome to the Minimalist Journal. This is my journey where I attempt to become a minimalist by minimizing the objects I consume while trying to live with less. Hi guys, I'm so excited you're watching this video. This is a multi-step, multi-tier challenge/experiment that I get to transfer my lifestyle from my past lifestyle to hopefully this minimalism lifestyle, and I'm so excited for you guys to come along so you can figure out how you can do it as well. I'm tackling a bunch of different obstacles such as my phone for digital minimalism, my spaces that I forget about and hide away, and my living spaces. So I hope you guys stay along for this journey to figure out how you can also become a minimalist and come with me on my journey. Let's go. My biggest minimalist inspirations are Matt D'Avella and Marie Kondo. I realized after watching their videos and listening to the Minimalist podcast that I in fact can do that as well. Minimalism is a lifestyle to squeeze the most out of life by doing more with less and finding what you really need and don't need out of your belongings. I'm taking several tips from videos to guide me on my minimalist challenge to get the most out of this series. Ultimately, I am hoping to live with less and reduce what I consume and release things that no longer serve me. This first phase of decluttering that I'm starting off this series with consisted of things that have been weighing me down the most. This consists of the amount of stationery that I hoard and the huge steel boxes of papers, aka the file cabinet, that I have pushed off for way too long. The method of minimizing that I'm using is dumping out everything and then sorting it into piles after asking it if it has served me, then dividing it into keep, giveaway, trash, or recycle piles. I started out working on my personal papers in this file cabinet. It held several personal journals, letters, old school reports, and forms in them. I immediately realized how difficult and challenging it is to get rid of such significant journals and letters. I also quickly realized that I have made a mistake. I would not recommend starting out how I did because Marie Kondo says to save the sentimental items for last, but I started with the cabinet first because it had been weighing on my mind for a while. Even though some of these items were difficult to let go of, a large proportion needed to go, and it was a much needed step in the right direction. This section cleared my mind, and lots of school papers and pieces of artwork that hadn't added anything to my life. Just looking through all of these memories and report cards and pieces of art and letters, notes, pictures, journal entries. It's very surreal, and to look through all of them and pick from all of them which ones are the most important. That's definitely another thing. Like looking through all this and being like, will I use this in the future? Am I using it now? Does it help me now? Does it help me in the future? And most of the answer is no. So, I don't know. This is a very interesting experiment. Alright, so I'm looking back on all of this footage and I'm realizing that I'm not fully getting the point across. I think what I was trying to say is that time passes by so fast, and the things that we might have cared about in the past will not matter to us now. Looking back and being like, that was so important to me back then, is no longer important to you. So material items can't always hold their weight and their value for very long before they might go out. And so that's why we need to be taking inventory of all of our stuff very frequently to make sure we still find value out of these things. And it's very important to check up on and own things that really have true meaning to us. What I'm just trying to get across is that things that had value in the past may not have value in the current moment or even the future, even though at the moment it may have seemed like it was the world and very important. And that's it. Okay, so these are all of the papers that I just got rid of. It goes very deep. It fills up this entire container, so that is absolutely crazy. This is how full my file cabinet is. It usually fills up this entire thing. I still have some things to put in here, but for the most part, I got rid of almost half of the papers, which feels pretty good. There is definitely more things that I wanted to get rid of, but I kind of had an emotional attachment to, so I can't get rid of yet until I'm ready to get rid of it, but for the most part, it feels pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of what I've gotten rid of. Here is precisely the reason that I'm starting this challenge, is because I can't find anything. Like, I'm looking for stuff, but I just have so many small items and so many things that I just cannot freaking find the things that I need to find. So I need to just declutter and get rid of stuff so I can be able to find stuff easily. I found it I was looking for. This is all of my stationery, pens and pencils and markers, all of the journals that I've accumulated, and just some other things that I use. I have a lot of it, evidently, and I'm going to try to consolidate it into this. I had a hard time cleaning out the brown drawer in the shot. It was very difficult because I had a bunch of memorabilia and nice notes and memories, but I realized is I don't need to keep things around just for the sake of others, and I didn't need to keep things around because I thought I would use it for the future. I just needed to get rid of it if it didn't serve me. Also, I made sure to dump out everything onto the floor in that drawer just to make it harder to leave it where it was, instead of potentially not throwing it away and just leaving it in its place. Seriously, the problem with all of the journals that I have accumulated over the couple past years is I have so many blank journals and like so many half-used journals. So I just don't know at this point what to do with them, because I don't want to get rid of all those memories, but I also don't know what to do with them, because it's not like I can donate them because they're half used. But I also don't want to waste the paper, you know what I mean? So I'm setting them aside, putting them here. This is my giveaway pile. This is my empty journal notebook, and then I'm going to deal with this. I'm scared of this drawer. I think it's very easy to just throw a bunch of stuff into a drawer and forget about it. But I think it is more impactful to have a relationship with all the items that you own in your house and know where they're going. The stuff that I have, I just threw into this drawer and I was hoping just to forget about it. But if you think about it, it's kind of taking up mental space as well, because I always, every single time I open up this drawer, I'm thinking, oh, this is where all my stuff goes, and I'm just trying to avoid it. And I always have that at the back of my mind, that I have a junk drawer, and it's just taking up so much mental space. So to clean this out was a huge relief. Okay, so I just finished organizing all my stuff. So I have a giveaway pile, I have a throwaway pile, and then I organized all my stationery stuff. I put my binders and unused notebooks in there, my used notebooks in there, and then I just organized that drawer, which looks amazing. I threw stuff away. It's really helpful, but I need to clean up this. I have so much junk. This is your super quick guide to digital minimalism. For more information about this, go to Matt D'Avella's YouTube channel. So the first thing I want to talk about is cleaning up your apps. I highly recommend changing your background for your lock screen. It just brightens up your space and changes things around. Also, deleting and organizing your apps into different folders and files. I also recommend cleaning out your photos by deleting the deleted and putting them into different folders to keep them organized. I also recommend turning off all your notifications except for the mandatory apps. I also recommend offloading apps and going into your notes app and changing up and organizing those folders and deleting notes that you no longer use. Remember to keep your space on your phone very organized, because your phone is just as important as your space, because you're spending probably the same amount of time on both of them, especially during this quarantine. Just remember, you can always do more with less. Love you guys. Okay, so here's the things that I learned from this challenge. The first thing being is it's easier to put stuff into a drawer and forget about it than to actually face it and to actually give it a home. The second thing I realized is I in fact can do more with less. The third thing I realized is that a clean space equals a cleaned mind. I've realized that once I clean out different aspects and areas, and once I recycle everything I don't need and just feel like a weight off of my chest because of others and just for others. You need to keep things because you want them, and I can truly say I feel like a much better person. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video and want to see more like it, subscribe to me and check out my other videos. Thank you.